Was devastating, no question about it, but there were plenty of Buffalonians who went out of their way to make a difference for neighbors who were struggling during the storm. One of them, a local barber. Our Danielle Church shares how he made a big impact. Danielle.
Claudine, Craig Elston owns CNC Cuts on Fillmore Avenue. He was working the morning that the storm began and opened up his shop to about 40 people needing shelter during the blizzard. Craig started getting people knocking on the door early that Friday after letting them in and hearing of some who had already died. Craig wanted to share an important message to social media. He posted this video welcoming anyone who needed shelter. The barbershop was one of the few places open in the neighborhood that day. They turned chairs into makeshift beds or slept in a back room, and people would go in groups to a local corner store that was open for food. Some stayed for 3 days. Craig recalls the first knock on his door that Friday.
Around like 8 or 9, I had a few people knock on the door, and the first guy was an Arabic guy, and when he knocked on the door, you could tell that he was cold. I didn't know that the blizzard at the time was that serious. I knew it was a whiteout. I knew the weather was bad, but when he knocked on the door, I opened the door, and his first few words was, "If you didn't open the door for me in a few minutes, I would have died." I didn't look at it as me being a hero. I think anybody in my position that had access to heat, lights, and shelter would have opened it up. I'm not going to leave nobody in the cold.
Those neighbors he helped were so grateful that most of them wrote him these cards to share their appreciation. Craig has also started a GoFundMe. At last check, it raised $11,000. He plans to use the money for supplies so that the next time a bad storm hits Buffalo, he will be more prepared when welcoming people back into the barbershop. Danielle Church, Channel 2 News.